Self-Care Corner on Breakaway with Who's with the Lady.
Man, oh man, 31 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you very much, Hopedi Dilokwe, with the news headlines. She's back again tomorrow. Catch her on Command Your Day, 5 a.m. all the way to 6. Right now, it's our Self-Care Corner course. Let me come through with the disclaimer. The content on this session of our Self-Care Corner will be of a sexual nature. Parental discretion and guidance is advised. I'm seeing you on the socials. My faves who love this day with us, thank you very much. We're talking this morning just emotional unavailability on sex and intimacy. Why? And why being present matters more than you think. Joining us this morning is sex and relationship coach. If you're listening for the first time, her voice is very soothing, and it makes sense that she is the director of KM Healing. Of course, here with us this morning, her name is Kumo. You send me through your voice notes, 060-552-7303. Let's talk about you. Are you being emotionally unavailable, even during sex, or could it be your partner holding back? Talk to us. How are you feeling? Before I play your voice notes, Kumo, let's talk about recognizing these patterns and the consequences, right? What are the signs that emotional unavailability is showing up in our sex life? Number one, whether it is during, before, and even after intimacy. And what does that mean for the health of this relationship that we have with our partners? And what does it say about us not being able to check in on each other and feel unchecked?
Oh, I'm going to try and answer those. Just tell me if I miss one.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So, sex has multiple stages, right? We have the beginning stage, which has a lot to do with desire, right? The desire for intimacy, for connection, sometimes just for stress relief. And then we have the entire build-up. But before that, what's really important in sex is context. So you can have desire for sex, but context is really important. You can have desire for sex but be really tired at the end of the day. And so you probably are not going to have a good time, right? But part of context is, am I comfortable with my partner? Am I comfortable in the place that we're in? Does it feel like my cup is filled in different ways in this relationship? And so something that I feel like a lot of folks find kind of attractive sometimes about emotional unavailability, and it's not that in particular, but there is this up and down that comes with the inconsistency of emotional unavailability. And it kind of feels similar to the beginning part of a relationship where we're kind of just like putting our best foot forward all the time, and you know, desire is present and pleasure is so much more easily, you're kind of more easily able to grasp it.
I like that. I like that you bring that up.
And so with time, because you get used to the person, you get used to your space, you get used to how you communicate, what inevitably happens in relationship is that we have arguments. We get to know these kind of random, picky things that don't feel as exciting about this person, and the sex becomes less enjoyable. And that's also the place where communication breaks down, and availability is really important.
Are you listening? I see you feel it saying Kumo's very good. She explains so well. Her voice is on point. I could listen to her speak all day. I agree with you 100%. But we want to listen to you this hour and this moment. Let's hear your voice notes. Talk to us.
Morning, Kuto, and hi. Not kind of existing with our partner in a way that feels familiar to us, and it's hard. And so part of being able to figure out what's going on with you is, I would offer, looking into what your relationship is to your own emotions.
I love that. All right, let's head on over to the next voice note.
Hi team, hi to the listeners. I'd like to remain anonymous. The reason why I'm emotionally unavailable with my partner during sex is because growing up I was molested by a family member, and you know, when you go through something that traumatic, you have a misconception of sex. Usually for me, I would only have sex because I wanted to please the other person, not because I wanted to do it or because I enjoy doing it. And for the longest time, that's just how I've been. I decided, you know what, I'm going to step back from relationships. Right now I'm currently not in a relationship. I am putting myself first, trying to deal with my trauma so that I actually have sex because I want to, and not just because you're primed into thinking you have to please this person and whatnot. So yeah.
Kumo, can we just reiterate again? I think this is the second time Kumo has been with us, and notes that we receive of you being this vulnerable does not go unnoticed, and we're grateful. Kumo, your words to Anonymous.
Thank you so much, Anonymous, for sharing and for your vulnerability. Sexual trauma is really, really difficult, and I think it's really beautiful that you are challenging yourself to work through what that's brought up for you. I think something about working through difficult trauma around relationships and our emotions is, for one, having grace with ourselves about what that looks like. And also, I like to say a lot to the folks that I work with that it is a journey, not a sprint, right? We are going to go through so many parts of our experience, and I want to offer that doesn't close you off from giving yourself the opportunity to experience love. Learning what sexual pleasure and emotional pleasure looks like with yourself is really important, and also getting the help and support that you need to move through whatever traumas come with your relationship to sex, and emotional availability is really important. So thank you for sharing.
Ladies and gentlemen, her name is Kumo. She's joining us this morning. She is the director of KM Healing, sex and relationship coach. If you're hearing her voice and you feel some sense of safety, and trust me, even her being here physically, this could have been a telephonic conversation, but you always say when you come through, and I appreciate it. It feels more tangible when you're here. We've got a comment coming through here, DMs many. I'm just going to read them out loud just as we close off our conversation. Someone says here, morning sister, so I'm currently experiencing that. Emotionally unavailable, and my wife doesn't understand. Like I'm not interested in any intimacy because of many things in my mind. There's another one here, Kumo, coming through from another gentleman. That was a gentleman. Another gentleman here saying, the lady's so right. I struggled opening up to people, and I grew up colder towards people in general, and this just affected me in my relationship and the relationship that I'm in. I had to pause and be alone and start attending therapy, much better, healthier space, and a good space as well. So come on, closing, for those who are trying to find the real solution and that touch point with their partners, with themselves, what would you leave with our breakers this morning?
I want to offer that context is really important to why emotional unavailability might be showing up. I just want to quickly speak to those two messages. I think for men, this is something that shows up a lot. Men grow up with a lot of expectation, a lot of trying to meet the standards of society where masculinity is associated with no emotional availability, with hardness. And I want to offer that your softness is necessary and required for your relationships with people in your life. And I mean that for everybody, especially in the context of men, but for everyone. Your softness is so important, and it's beautiful, and it's a really large part of you having successful and loving and
Bye.